Welcome to the Quip Corners Book Corner. Today I'll have the pleasure of being joined by someone who will be sharing from and about, or maybe in the other order, about and from her first book. You'll see her bio right after this. See you in the Quip Corner. Welcome to the Quip Corners Book Corner, Mary.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm glad that you could join me here. So we're going to be talking about your first book, right?
Yes. The Branch That I Am, and it's my first poetry collection.
Nice. So before we dig into what's in the book, what's the backstory?
In 2019, I really felt led to start sharing my writing with people. I had finished a poem that had taken me 4 years to write, and God said, "It's time. You need to share now." So I started a blog, and that gave me confidence and grew me in my writing. And it just progressed from there that he wanted me to put my poetry in a book. And I chose self-publishing because I wanted my first book to be very personal and to be my story. So I found an editor who helped me do that, and I'm very proud of it. So what it is it's my story through poetry, my journey through depression and finding my faith again after walking away and coming back, and just all the things that go with that.
Wow. That's nice. That's an amazing backstory for sure. I remember having a chat with someone whose book, well, not the same, but he was talking about how he moved from damnation to salvation, but yours seemed to be like you started off in a place of faith, wandered away, and came back. Nice. So why don't you read something from it to us, please?
All right. So I have chosen to read one of the newer poems. Some of the poems in here are a little bit older, and but this is one of the newer ones.
Okay.
And it's called Inhale. Fragile breath, a prayer tonight. Shallow, fighting for life. Compressed inside vessels of glass, fragile vessels that never last. Breathing in prayer, forcing out despair. Living worship or praise. Humbled awe in gasps raised. Each one fragile, never owned. Revitalizing flesh and bone. A gift on loan. Incense sweet before the throne. Breaths are prayers, all on their own. That's it.
Nice. That is a nice poem.
Thank you.
Definitely. And you got me hooked even more when you said when you inhale a prayer and you exhale despair. And
yes,
that is so powerful.
Thank you.
That is so powerful. So talking a bit about your journey, how did prayer help you?
Prayer is where my poetry started, actually. I use it as therapy.
Okay.
And prayer is our connection with God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would start with a question, and sometimes writing it down would help me connect. And I would say, "Why, God?" Or, "This is how I feel. Is it okay to feel this way?" And through writing out those words while I was praying and asking those questions, he would remind me of lessons that he had already taught me, because I grew up in a Christian home, so I had all the knowledge, but sometimes it's just that reconnecting and realigning and remembering his
Yes.
truth, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the prayers are very important to me. I believe that most poetry is a form of prayer. We are asking questions, we are finding answers, we are making connections between his creation and us and our emotions and how they affect us, you know. And in doing that, it's worship
Yes.
because this is all from him. It's all his pattern, it's all his system, you
Yes.
know, everything. So it's prayer, it's worship, and that's why I love poetry and prayer.
Lovely. Lovely. There might be people out there who also love poetry or love prayer, and they're like, prayer, poetry? How can I get a copy of this book?
The best place to find me is on my website, and it is maryggracewriting.ca because I am Canadian. And it has the links in my bookstore to the ebook that I sell myself,
Okay.
but also to the paperback that is available at different places and on Amazon. So all of the links are there, as well as to all of my social media platforms. All of the links are right on my website.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we'll put that information in the description box below this video.
Okay.
Before I let you go, what do you want your potential readers or people who already have copies of your book, what do you want them to take away from reading your book?
That there's hope and that it is okay to struggle. I don't think that we should have shame in that. And you know, we have stories in the Bible like the story of Job where his struggle is so real and raw.
Yes.
And all God does is remind us, I am God. And I'm here in your pain and it is okay. But I'm still God. And so, like, I believe everybody's story is important wherever you are in your walk.
Yeah.
And this is my story. And maybe by sharing my story, then it will encourage you to share your story.
True.
So that's what I hope people take away, that there's hope and that they have a story and they should share it.
Thank you. That is so nicely put. Some other guests have shared their story as well, and I always thank them for sharing their story because, like you said, when we share our story, it sometimes gives others the courage to own and share their story. Yeah. And for some other people, it also gives them the courage to change their story, to say, okay, I'm going downwards. I don't want to. How can I recover from where I'm at?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, thank you again for joining me in the Quip Corners Book Corner.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
It was nice listening to Mary, both her story and the poem. Yeah. When I even think of the Psalms, there are prayers there and there are praises there as well. And it's a book of poetry. Well, below this video, you'll see information on how you can get copies of Mary's book. See you again. Bye now.